Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate, ringsidenews.com. The post-WrestleMania week continues here on NoDQ.com. A ton of news on the website right now, and I am way backed up with questions from spring.me/Aaron Rift, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get started here with the questions. And I will be posting more videos later this week, so stay tuned. First one today comes from Frank's Leiden. Hey Aaron, when do you think we will see Sting? I was a little disappointed that we didn't see him at Raw. What is your opinion? Well, did you happen to be that sad Sting fan in the front row? I mean, I was a little bit disappointed too. As a fan, I would have liked to have seen Sting appear on the Raw after WrestleMania 30. It would have gotten a huge reaction from the fans, and that Sting fan in the front row would have been jumping for joy. But it wasn't meant to be, and here's my take on it. From a logical standpoint, it makes sense to hold off on Sting. If he's going to be part of WrestleMania 31, whether he's wrestling or going into the Hall of Fame, you should wait before you have him make his first appearance. If Sting appears on Raw, first of all, fans are going to want to see more of Sting. So what do? Do you make him the general manager? Do you put him in a match before WrestleMania? The thing is, the more Sting appears, the more less special he's going to be. So I think that if you're going to have him as part of WrestleMania 31 weekend, which he has hinted at, he made the appearance at WrestleCon this past weekend in New Orleans, and he said that his favorite number was 31 and it got a huge pop. If Sting is going to be part of WrestleMania 31, he should not appear until closer to WrestleMania 1, whether it's at the Royal Rumble or on a Raw before WrestleMania. You don't want to bring him in right away and then have him become overexposed. So on one hand, I would have liked to have seen him at Raw, but looking at it from a logical standpoint, I think WWE made the right decision to hold off on bringing him in. Next one here comes from Kayfabe Candy Ass, and this is also regarding Sting. Assuming Sting has a match at WrestleMania 31, which I doubt anyway, who do you think it would be against, assuming it was his only match and knowing it wouldn't be Undertaker? Is there any intrigue for him facing Cena? Well, everyone wanted to see Sting versus Undertaker. At least most fans did. I mean, that was a match that fans have been speculating about for years now, and you had all the mock posters and all the buzz about it, and it never came to be. And now that Undertaker appears to be done and the streak is over, there's not really a whole lot of interest in Sting versus Undertaker. I would like to see Sting compete in a WWE ring. I would like to see him go into the Hall of Fame, but I would also like to see him at least wrestle one time in WWE. That would be something special. And if not Undertaker, I mean, I would like to see Sting versus John Cena. That would make sense to me. John Cena has been the franchise of WWE. Sting was the franchise of WCW. It's one era versus another era, and that would definitely tear the house down. And Sting could be one of those few guys that I think could carry Sting to a very good match. You know, I know a lot of people don't feel that way about John Cena, but I think he would get something good out of Sting. And you could also do Sting versus Daniel Bryan. There's a lot of different options, but I think you want to put Sting in there with the biggest star possible, and John Cena is that guy. So, you know, that would be the match I would do. I mean, you could do Sting versus Randy Orton or Sting versus The Rock. I mean, that would be an interesting match, Sting versus The Rock. But I think, you know, John Cena would be able to carry Sting to a better match than The Rock would. So I would go with Sting versus Cena. All right, this one comes from Wrestling God 88. Hey Aaron, how do you think WWE controlled the crowd on Raw? From what I saw, WWE made a show in which the crowd could not take over. Well, I don't think WWE really had to control the crowd, because I think that the overall fan base is satisfied with the current direction of WWE. There's nothing really to be upset about. The fans at the Royal Rumble were pissed off because Daniel Bryan wasn't in the Rumble match. But this group of fans and the WWE universe in general, they got what they wanted. Daniel Bryan won the WWE title at WrestleMania, and he was the focal point of Raw. So the fans in the arena were satisfied. And Cesaro is in the midst of a big push. And, the fans are happy about that as well. So, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to complain about. Raw was a really good show, and the fans enjoyed it, and they were having a good time. There wasn't really anything to hijack or be pissed off about. Some people were upset about the streak, but, Paul Heyman came out there and did such a great promo that I think fans are more accepting the fact that the streak is over, and maybe Brock Lesnar can benefit now from the streak being over, and we'll get a monster heel push, and we'll have some big-time matches with Brock Lesnar in the future. So, I mean, right now, things are looking good in WWE, and there's not a whole lot to complain about. So, I'm not surprised that the fans, they were a bit bizarre world in the usual sense where they cheer for the heels and boo the baby faces. I mean, that's fairly standard. But, they were just having a good time. All right, this one comes from the Jobinator. Hey, Aaron, you mentioned previously that turning the Shield face was a mistake. That being said, after the ending to Raw, do you feel the Shield should have split up? Thanks. Well, when I talked about the idea of the Shield splitting up, that was when WWE was doing the storyline where they were teasing the Shield breaking up, and the Shield had been heel for a long period of time. And then they turned the Shield face, and it's really caught on. I mean, the Shield definitely has some staying power now as baby faces. They can have a very solid run as good guys for 6 months or even a year. So, now that the Shield has made the babyface turn and they're going out there, they got a huge reaction on Raw. I mean, they can definitely hold off. WWE can hold off on doing the split of the Shield. I mean, there's definitely some mileage that they can get out of the Shield as baby faces. You can have them feud with Triple H and the Authority, and that can go on for several months. And the Shield is really over right now as baby faces. I'm definitely a little bit surprised that WWE managed to get them over as baby faces. But I mean, the Shield, they're such an awesome unit. I'm really happy that this is working out for them, because, I didn't want to see the Shield break up, because more times than not, they were having the best matches on Raw. So I'm glad that they're still a unit, and we'll see where things go. And like I said earlier, I mean, things are looking good in WWE right now. I mean, a lot of the younger talent is getting pushed. The Shield's getting pushed. Cesaro's getting pushed. Daniel Bryan. I mean, not much you can complain about right now. All right, this one comes from JoaHack13. Hi, Aaron. Paige is now the new WWE Divas Champion. She won it in her first Raw appearance. Does this mean the title will be worth less now that a NXT rookie could win it? Thanks. Well, I think the idea here is that WWE wanted to get over Paige in her debut match. They wanted to do something big and something memorable with her debut, and what better way than to have her end AJ Lee's lengthy reign as the Divas Champion. And I actually like this a lot more than AJ Lee losing it in the Battle Royal to some random person. At least Paige did have a title, and she did make a name for herself on NXT. And, that alone should make her worthy of being a contender for the Divas title, the fact that she was the NXT Divas Champion. So I think that, it was a thumbs-up segment. I'm glad that they pulled the trigger with the title switch, and she's off to a strong start. First impressions mean a lot, and she won the title in her first match. So, I think that the fact that she got a big reaction and, she looked strong in her debut, I mean, that's definitely a good sign for her moving forward. All right, this one comes from WWE fan Dark Arrow. Hey, Aaron, what do you make of Ezekiel Jackson leaving WWE? Not really surprised. They weren't doing anything with the guy, and I think once Big E Langston came in and started getting pushed, I mean, that pretty much sealed Ezekiel Jackson's fate, because essentially Big E Langston is in the same kind of role, just this big, massive powerhouse, and you don't need too many of those guys. Maybe in Vince's world you do, but overall, you don't need multiple characters that are very similar in terms of size and look. So Big E Langston basically got his spot, and there was really nothing to do nothing for WWE to do with Jackson, so his contract just ran out. And that's what I see happening with a lot of these guys that aren't being used. I mean, WWE's kind of changed the way they're doing things. Rather than just releasing people, they're just not using the people and letting the contracts run out. So the guys that you aren't seeing, that you haven't seen in a while, I mean, in all likelihood, those guys are just going to be gone once their contracts expire. All right, this next one comes from Child Incomplete. Hey, Aaron, who do you think could win Money in the Bank this year? Personally, I feel like it could be Cesaro or Reigns. What about you? Absolutely. I could definitely see Antonio Cesaro winning Money in the Bank. I hope that WWE has a better plan with the Money in the Bank winner this year. Last year, you had Damian Sandow win Money in the Bank, and look where he is right now. I really hope that doesn't happen with this year's winner. So if you're going to have an up-and-comer win Money in the Bank, please let it be somebody that you're really serious about pushing for the long haul. So if that's Cesaro, then definitely. I mean, Cesaro right now has got a ton of momentum. He won the Andre Battle Royal. He's now a Paul Heyman guy. Next logical step is for him to win Money in the Bank. But once again, if he's going to win Money in the Bank, he needs to eventually win the title and be a top guy. Otherwise, you might want to put it on somebody else like Roman Reigns. All right, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. If you enjoyed this video, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Please keep sharing the word about NoDQ&A video, spreading the word, and I will see you guys next time for another edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks for watching.